Okay, so we're going to look now at the word of mouth quadrant, which is the quadrant that follows the customer experience. So a client has had an experience with the practice either in the building or yard with one of your clinicians. The customer experience quadrant followed the filling the funnel quadrant, which is where you managed an inbound phone call to book a visit or to book an appointment. And we're coming back round now to word of mouth quadrant and the getting notice quadrant. We started off with the getting notice quadrant, which was, how would someone ever be aware of your services? And this is a really interesting relationship between word of mouth quadrant and the getting notice quadrant. The word of mouth quadrant is where, after a contact with your practice, that the owner will then leave the building and tell somebody either face-to-face or online about the service they received. And it's critical, therefore, that we measure how likely the individual that you've seen is going to be to recommend your practice to their friends and family. And this is a Net Promoter Score. And the Net Promoter Score is a really good way of tracking the percentage of those people who actually would recommend you. It's a simple tool and one that allows you to take the percentage of promoters, those people that score you 9 and 10, if you take away the detractors, the people who score you 0 to 6, and you're left with a tracking percentage. And we would recommend that you want to be targeting 80% plus and ideally 85% on a Net Promoter Score. Typical average veterinary practice in the UK is currently running around 71-72%, with the ones who focused on this achieving the 80% plus. So Net Promoter Score, a really good way of assessing your word of mouth in the local area. The next segment after Net Promoter Score is, did we actually rebook in the diary a reason for these owners to come back? Because if we don't have those owners coming back for a revisit appointment or for a weigh and worm or for a health check or for something in the future, the word of mouth, even if it might be positive, we're not reigniting the contact and the relationship. So make sure you always have a reason to see the pet, the horse, the owner again, either physically face-to-face or through email, through an email newsletter, through something that keeps fresh in that owner's mind that you're a great practice and they did actually think you were great, and ask them to recommend you, which is a really important part of this journey. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is the known truth. People choose businesses and services that their friends and family have said are great. So word of mouth is still by far one of the biggest parts of your whole marketing journey. And word of mouth comes from the experience that those people had with you. And harnessing word of mouth and knowing word of mouth is actually so important that investing time and energy to make the bit that creates word of mouth even more special is a good use of your investment in marketing. Word of mouth comes directly from the experience the owner had with you, and the customer experience is based on how that person felt with someone that you have within your team. So the primary contact they had with the customer care team, with the nurse team, with the vet team. So investing in the customer experience training generates word of mouth. As we come round to friend get friend, the whole idea around a friend get friend or a referral program is to ask those people who are happy with you to bring their friends along. And this is fairly normal practice in all sectors of business, whether it's phone companies, digital TV companies, clothing companies, catalogue companies. Most businesses today will say, if you're happy with what we've been doing, can you introduce us to some of your friends? So friend get friend is a really useful tool here as part of generating word of mouth. A key group of people often overlooked by veterinary professionals is a key opinion leader group. The key opinion leaders are, for equine, farriers absolutely critical, what they think about you and your practice, yard owners, equine dental technicians, physios, anybody who a horse owner would believe, pay money to and respect. The saddlers, feed merchants, anybody who knows something about horses will be a key opinion leader for equine practice. For small animal practice, you're looking, one of the biggest key opinion leaders here will be the groomer, who sees your patients 6, 7, 8 times a year more often than you do. Kennels, catteries, pet stores, puppy trainers, agility clubs. All of these people have a view about you. What are we doing to harness that energy? What are we doing to do outreach to help the key opinion leaders create word of mouth for you? And this is a really useful part of the journey to actually discuss and debate. In terms of managing word of mouth, looking at testimonials, looking at feedback, reviews in your social media on Facebook, on Twitter, sharing so your message multiplying when someone posts a testimonial or a recommendation on Facebook, that you spread that across your Facebook, your Twitter, creating YouTube clips of owners saying, I'm really delighted with the practice. All of these aspects of utilising social media to manage and farm your word of mouth is a key part of any aspect of your marketing plan. And last but by no means least is actually asking for a recommendation. It's for many people quite uncomfortable to say to a customer, do you know what, we've saved your dog, we've saved your horse, would you be kind enough to actually write a testimonial or fill in a recommendation on Facebook? Some of us find that quite hard to say. There will be somebody in your practice who is good at this. Using some judgment and making sure you ask at the right time and using a degree of sensitivity is really important. But for many cases, success stories, the pet or the horse has gone home, they're well, they're alive, they're doing great, the owner loves you, they've maybe sent you boxes of chocolates. At that point saying, it would be lovely if you could say a few words that we can put on our Facebook or on our web or we can circulate. Most people will say yes. You have to write it for some people for approval, but leave that on with you. But finding a way of asking for a recommendation will be a great way of bringing you around to the end of the word of mouth segment. So there you go, there's footsteps, those are the 4 quadrants.